Let's get started. Come on. I hope that is loud enough. Should be fine. So I am here. All white. Well, so my black white. Okay. It's been a while. Yeah, that's right. 6, 2, 3. Post that to my story. I'm actually going to put some music on, but I cannot be bothered. So for anyone who might watch this video after the fact, I am currently working on a C2C blanket using the join as you go method, and it's done in some yarn from Hobbycraft, the Women's Institute yarn, which is exclusive to Hobbycraft. I'm doing it in the colours of white, grey and black in the style of like a gingham. So that is what I'm currently working on. And I'm trying to get this one finished. I'm trying to work through a bunch of whips that I have in my stash and just trying to finish them, get them out of the way, use up some yarn in my stash for some other projects as well. Just try and clear down all the yarn and whips that I currently have because I don't really have the space for it and the storage, and I don't really want to get any more than I already have. So just trying to work through things. Got some scrap yarn projects on the go at the moment. I've got a long-term granny square blanket on the go at the moment, which I'll just keep adding to over time using all the leftovers that I don't want to use for other small projects because I don't really do small projects. Yeah, just trying to use up what I have. I only buy yarn when I need it for a project or to finish something, or if it's a joining colour, and I've been really good about my yarn buying habits recently. Like when I've been to Hobbycraft the past 2 times, I've only gone in and bought what I needed, and I didn't overspend or buy any extras or anything. Just went in, got what I needed, and left. So I'm not really piling up on the yarn anymore, but I've got plenty of yarn that I need to go through, use up. So I'm just trying to stick with that because I know in the future there'll probably be a lot more projects that I want to work on, but because of space, it just won't be feasible. So for this project, I've got plenty of black, I've got plenty of grey, but I don't have a lot of white. This is pretty much all the white that I've got left. So I'm going to go as far as I can with the white that I've got and then finish the blanket and add the border and then just finish it because I don't want to have to buy any more white. I don't think I'll need any more to finish the blanket. I think I'll have just enough for the size I think I want. As you can see, I've got plenty of grey. I've got loads of grey and some black. So I'm hoping the grey will probably just go towards like, there's like a pattern that I have saved that I've bought that I've not started yet. So I'm thinking it might go to that pattern. It's a granny stripe jumper. So I think I will probably put the grey yarn towards that, maybe. And then use some other yarn in my stash to go with it. But we shall see. I'm really into working on gingham right now. So I've got this blanket that I started a few years ago. So I really want to finish this, so it's done. Then I've got like a gingham like scarf also, that I started. And then I've also got another gingham C2C blanket that I started a little bit today, with some yarn from my stash. So yeah, I've always been into gingham. I've never made any gingham projects, or finished any gingham projects, so I'm hoping that this will be a start of a few projects that I would like to actually work on and work to completion. Because they're not... The scarf is a bit more tricky because I'm carrying all the colours. This one is join as you go, so it's easier to manage compared to your normal like gingham styles, where you have to carry the yarn across the project. So I don't have to worry about having multiple balls of yarn and stuff like that. So I think I'll probably do a few more C2C specific gingham stuff, but we'll see. I'm not gonna put any plans out there except for the ones that I know that I've started and want to finish. And I am on a bit of a finish binge right now and just really trying to use up the stuff that I've got in my stash. I made some tube socks with some yarn that I had in my stash, some like really chunky yarn I had in my stash. I just used it all up. Well, I haven't used it all up. I made a pair of tube socks for myself, and I've got enough, I think, for one more pair of tube socks. So I'm going to make one more pair, and that should be that yarn used all up, which would be good because it's quite chunky yarn. And it takes up a lot of space, and I don't want things to be taking up more space, so I've got myself all twisted. So yeah, I've got quite a few projects that I've started. I just want to finish them if I can. I'm kind of falling out of love with blankets a little bit, but working on the gingham kind of has brought me back a little bit. I don't have many blankets on the go. I've got this one, which I'm going to finish because I already started it a long time ago. And I've got a big one for my sister and her partner that I started, and I need to really make more progress on that. But it's a big one there. I've got a cardigan on the go that I started, not from a pattern or anything, just one that I was making up, and I just need to finish the length of it, and then add some sleeves and add the ribbing around it. So I want to finish that at some point because that's just more yarn. Excuse me, it's like 400-gram balls taking up space that I just don't have. So that yarn needs to get used up and gone into that whip. It's mostly just the Aran projects that are really just taking up the space because I typically buy like the 400-gram balls, especially when I'm working on garments and stuff like that. So they do take up a lot of space compared to your 50-gram balls or 100-gram balls of DK. So doing what I can to make up space. And then I need to, once I've got all my finishes, I need to come up with something to do with all those finishes too. Got a bunch of blankets in my wardrobe just stored away, and I don't want to give them away because they took a long time to make. I bought the yarn packs of those blankets and they took a lot of time to make, and I love them a lot, and I don't really want to give them away, but my friend was like, you need to get rid of them, you need to sell them. And I do want to do that, but times are hard for a lot of people right now, and I don't want to just give them away. Like, I'd like to at least make some money back from all the time and effort that I put into them. And people really don't value your time and effort that you put into the projects and how much they're worth. Like, those blankets are bigger than a single bed. The yarn packs were what, £29.50, £30, and I don't think anyone would want to pay a big price for a blanket like that of its size. And considering how long it took to make, I don't think people would really get that. So I don't know. We'll see. I've got a lot of stuff. It's just a matter of trying to get rid of it all, because I know I don't really want to keep a bunch at the moment. Just don't have the space. I don't necessarily want to crochet forever. I mean, I love it. It's a great hobby, but there are days I'm just like, I just don't want to crochet anymore. I just don't want to do it anymore. It's not time and effort that can go a bit underappreciated sometimes. So, but it is what it is. Okay, so that is that one done. So let me just show you what I've already done. I spent this afternoon sewing in some of the ends because I sewn in like half of it, and so I just sewed the rest in. So that's the bottom. I've got a stitch marker there, so I know which is my bottom right, sorry. And here I am at the moment, just at the top. I think this will probably be as long as I go. I think I definitely will have enough white to finish across here. If I could get another 2 rows in, so it's like even colors at the bottom, so it starts and ends on the white, that would be ideal. But I feel like CTC doesn't really take up as much yarn as I thought it did, which is good. And I'm actually being good about sewing in the ends. It's Sunday, it's sewing ends Sunday, so you know. Make sure I sit back properly because my back is hurting. Does anyone in chat right now lurking about? I'd like to know how you are, what you're doing, if you're working on anything right now, or you're just sitting and chilling with me on this lovely Sunday afternoon. The weather in the UK, where I'm from London, the weather has turned. It is now cold again. I saw this video on TikTok. September the 16th Weather was great. It was warm. It wasn't cold. It wasn't overly hot. And then yesterday just went cold. And I knew it was cold because I normally leave my window open when I'm home during the day. Like I always have it open so I can get like air moving through while I'm in my room, which is where I spend most of my time. And yeah, I was very cold. Like you can see now, I've got a hoodie on right now because I've got my window open, but I don't want to close my window. I want to keep my window open. I've got my door open so the air can move through and flow through. So yeah, I've got my hoodie back out. Like it's so cold that I've started wearing my hoodie again. So that's how you know. And I'll do anything not to put the heating on. I've got plenty of crochet blankets that I can use to keep myself warm before I turn on that heating and waste my money on heat. I've got my woolly socks, got jumpers, got blankets, I've got everything I need. I must be in dire consequences before I decide to put on the heating. There's no way. Excuse me, sorry about that. So I'm sitting back, I need to adjust a little bit. But yeah, I haven't been on the YouTubes for, I think it was like 4 months since like I last did something, I think, which was my crochet with me video where I just sat and worked on a project for like an hour. And I have just been too busy and too tired to really want to like put together a video. Which kind of sucks because I was enjoying doing it, but I kind of just fell off really. And then never really found the time to pick back up again. And I will. I definitely will. It's just more of a matter of when I feel the mood strikes me to do it. And I'm surprised I even found the mood to stream. And to be fair, streaming is easier than making a video and editing it and stuff. But I do plan on filming a video soon. I just need to find all the different things that I worked on in the last 4 months. Because I've worked on like some of my bigger stuff, and then there's like smaller things like hats that I had made, and I think I shared them in my last video, some hats that I made. I can't remember, I'll have to go back and watch. So I just need to go through and find what I actually worked on in the last 4 months, which I don't think is really that much. Because I've been trying to work through my whips and my large granny square blanket that I'm slowly working on. Yeah, once I've compiled all my whips and finishes together and know what I actually have, then I will make a video. And I have been stitching as well. I haven't stopped stitching. I actually worked on a project yesterday and I got about 650-ish stitches in yesterday. So I am very close to finishing the 22 and 22 full coverage fanatics challenge of 22,000 stitches in the year 2022. So I'm over the 20,000 stitches mark now. Even if it doesn't really look like it, I am over that mark now. So I'm close to reaching that goal, which should be pretty amazing. Didn't think I'd ever be able to stitch that much in a year. So I'm quite happy with myself. And to be honest, most of the stitches were done in January. I think I did like at least, was it like, oh, let me see. I can't see my list from here, but 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I did about 6,000 stitches in January alone. So that was like a good head start. But I am putting out some older projects that are close to finishing as well, that I want to work on and just get done so they're not sitting in the stash anymore. Just waiting to be finished. I've got a few that are close to being done, but it's mostly just filling in some background and doing the back stitching and some like French knots and stuff. So, but it's not like it's difficult to do. So need to get on my finishing kick and get back to those cross stitch pieces as well. So I'm also still going to the gym. I never stopped, kept going. I've been doing some like powerlifting training, which has been so fun. So I'm going to be doing that right up to the end of the year, just keeping that going. Getting a personal trainer is probably the best thing that I've ever done for my health. I've learned so much. I've gotten so much stronger and so much more confident in my body. Yeah, so yeah, doing that last year is like the best thing that's happened to me, and I've managed to keep up with it all this time. I found that the problem I've always had with trying to work out on my own is being consistent and being strict with yourself and keeping up with it, and not just like, oh, you know, there's next week, I'll try again next week, and oh, I can't bother to do it today, I'll do it tomorrow, and that kind of mentality. So even when I do plan on stopping at the end of the year, I'm still gonna keep up with my fitness and just keep that going, because it's done good for my health. So why would I want to stop doing something that's good for me, you know? My eating habits have definitely changed too. Oh, come on, I've done that wrong. Like less of the junk food. Like I've got like a strict plan anyway. But like I've cut out for the most part gluten, because I found that makes me a bit bloated. So pretty much cut out gluten. Though trying to find gluten-free products is a pain in the butt sometimes. But yeah, so don't really eat gluten anymore. I'm quite happy to drink alternative milks, like oat milk and almond milk and coconut milk. I still drink semi-skimmed milk now and then, because I don't really like the like, you know, when you go to like a Costa or Starbucks and they've got the barista type oat milk. The last time I had like the barista type oat milk in Starbucks, it was disgusting. I don't know what it is about their kind of style of oat milk, but it's not nice. I did not like it. So I just stick with standard milk when I go to a coffee shop because, yeah, I don't trust it. Yeah, I don't eat as much chocolate as I used to. I still enjoy chocolate, but in small amounts. And I find that sometimes I get a bit of a reaction to chocolate if I eat too much of it. I'm not sure if it's like an allergic reaction or what, but yeah, sometimes when I eat a bit too much chocolate, it just doesn't sit well in my mouth or my throat. So and portion control has really helped as well. Like I know my limit of how much I eat and how much I should eat. I'm just eating more balanced food during the day. I don't really snack anymore at all. If anything, I don't really snack at all, to be honest. But I still can't get past drinking my tea. That's anything. That's the one thing that has been challenging is cutting back on the caffeine. It's not like I get like, you know how people get like caffeine highs, like when they drink a lot of like coffee, or when people consume a lot of sugar, they get like a sugar high. I don't get any of that. I don't find that caffeine does anything for me, but I do consume it quite a bit. But I'll cut down on that. But I fear that the cold weather is going to make me want to drink more, like tea and coffees and hot chocolates and stuff like that. So I've got to be mindful of that. But I am starting to enjoy green tea. That's something I didn't think I'd ever say. I've got green tea right now in my mug with some honey. And that is the only way that I can drink green tea, as if I've got honey with it. Sugar, don't like green tea with sugar. I don't know what it is. But with honey, I can bear the taste a lot better. I should probably sit back properly. Yeah, I'm doing a lot better with my health, and I'm really happy about that. It's not easy to change your diet and your fitness like that, but I was very much determined to do that, so I stuck with it. And I'm very glad that I did. How long have I been going? Oh, over 30 minutes already, my goodness. But to be honest, even though I haven't really been doing my YouTubes and stuff like that, I haven't really been up to it too much. And I haven't really been watching anything. I've got Netflix again. I've watched a few things on there, but I haven't really been heavy on the Netflix. And I'm pretty sure I might end up just cancelling the subscription for a bit to kind of save a little bit of money. I've been working on writing up my first pattern, but it's being a bit of a pain at the moment because I realized that the yarn I use doesn't have like yardage on it, like most yarns, because I got the yarn from Poundland and it's just like your standard measurement or whatever it's called. So I was thinking, how am I going to get the yardages for this yarn? It's got its weight on there, but that's about it. Like, I was like, am I gonna have to make another version of the jumper? So I have two, and I didn't really want to do that. And then I realized that I have another ball of that kind of yarn in my stash. So what I'm going to do is just unravel all the entire ball and just measure it using a measuring tape and see how much I get out of it, and then use that as like my approximate yardage for the pattern, because I really don't want to have to make it again. That means spending more money on yarn, and I don't want to do that. So I think I'm just gonna take the ball of yarn and then just measure the whole entire length of the yarn, and hopefully that will help. I was hoping to get the pattern out like end of this month, October, even though it's my first pattern. So yeah, I think tomorrow I'm going to spend quite a bit of time just writing it up and working it out. I don't really have a lot of pictures, so I need to try and see if I can do that. But now that the weather's changing, it's going to be hard to get pictures, and I'm on my own as well, so I have to try and figure out a way to do it. I've already got the document kind of like formatted in a way that I've got, in a way that I like. I've got my logo done for it now, so I've got like a proper logo that I really like. So it's just kind of like formatting the pattern, writing it all up, getting all the information in there that I want. Luckily, it's not a difficult pattern, at least I don't think so. You just have to measure your own body to get the right sizing. So hopefully I can find people to test it as well. If I could find like someone who could test my pattern, or a few people who'd be willing to do that, that would be awesome. But we'll see. We will see. Start to get a little dark. That should help a bit. Come on, there we go. Yeah, but I find pattern making is quite difficult, especially when it comes to like garments and stuff, because you've really got to, I mean, I'm good at maths, but it's still kind of confusing for me working it all out. So if I do make another pattern after this, we will see. But as long as I get my first one out, I'll be happy, and I'll just go back to making other people's patterns, because I'm pretty good at that, testing and stuff like that. So you never know. I like to think I'm pretty creative, but when it comes to like coming up with my own ideas and stuff, that's the hardest part. Don't know if I'm as creative in that sense, but I do enjoy making other people's patterns and stuff and supporting other designers. That's a win for me. And there's quite a few patterns that I have that I haven't even started yet. Like there's one jumper pattern that I said before that I have and I haven't started, purely because just needing the yarn for it. But if I have plenty of this grey yarn left, then that's what I'll do, and I'll have plenty of scrap yarn to fill in the blanks. I started making think 2 days ago, I started another pattern that I had, but hadn't. The only reason I hadn't started it is because it wasn't a pattern that I thought I would need. But then I was just going through my stash and was like, even if I don't use this, someone else could, and it would use up some colors in my stash. So I've got that started. I'm just sewing in the ends at the moment and then making a lining, and that would be another quick finish. I say quick, but the only thing that's really slowing me down is sewing the ends in, but that's honestly not too much of an issue. I don't really mind sewing in ends. I do have a project that I finished that I didn't sew a single end in for. And I do plan on obviously sewing in the ends eventually. But as it's already finished, I just want to focus on stuff that's not finished right now. And then I can just pick it up whenever I feel like it and just sew in the ends as and when. I typically like to just dedicate a few hours on a Sunday to sewing in ends on projects. So yeah, that's what my Sundays are for. When I am in the mood, I will just sew in the ends. And oh, hey twin, thanks. Yeah, it's been a while, but yeah, you don't have to stay, it's fine. Thanks for saying hi. Appreciated. But I think I probably will end up streaming more just because it's easier for me. I definitely will put a video. There's no doubt I will do a video. Probably the end of this month, I think. That would make the most sense for me. It's just to wait to the end of the month and do it. Just do one big video. But I think I would like to stream more than when I can, as it's just easier for me to do that. And it gives me an excuse to work on projects when I don't feel like it. And I can just sit and chat. I'm not the best chatter, but I try. I do want to make good progress on this blanket, so it's starting to get dark outside already. It's what, 5:15 in the afternoon / early evening. And it's getting dark outside and I need to put on my lamp already. Like, geez. We've got a couple of squares done already, so it's good going. Normally I just work straight across, but I wanted to work up to where the next white block would be, just to kind of gauge how far I'd be going, because I know I definitely do have enough white, since the white is only on every other row, so I definitely know I have enough white to finish these rows. When I do finish the stream, I will, if I remember, add the link to the tutorial I used to do this blanket. It's a blog post that I used to learn how to do this. And I think this is before there were actually any YouTube videos of the C2C continuous join as you go method. So I will link the blog post, the website in the description once the stream is done. And as I said, I definitely want to do some more Gingham stuff. Regardless of whether I end up keeping any of my projects or not. So I don't have space for everything, but like even this blanket, I don't even know. I don't think I'm going to keep this one myself. I've got plenty, but I don't know who I'd give it to. I don't know if I'll end up donating it or what. I haven't really fully decided, so I'm sure I'll figure it out. I think the stream just ended, but I was watching. Yes, it has. Don't mind me, I'm just putting on a video in the background to watch. Oh, no wonder my sister cannot stay for the stream. She's playing Destiny. How dare, how dare. No, I like to have some stuff in the back. Even though I'm streaming, I like to have something in the background that I can just turn my head to and watch. If I wasn't watching something else, I'd probably have like headphones in my ear and just listen to some music or something. Mess this up again. But I'm just sitting in the silence of my own words. Keep getting notifications on my phone and I don't know why. But anywho, there's currently loads of things that I really want to get into, but time is not on my side. Like I really want to get into, like I started a bit of English paper piecing because I wanted to get back into a bit of sewing and I haven't touched that in a while. Also, I have a sewing machine and I want to learn how to sew properly because I have a blanket that I want to add a backing to. But I can't really sew in a straight line. That's probably like my biggest problem with sewing. Just as I can't get the basics down. I mean, I know how to set up my sewing machine. I know how to do all that, but sewing in a straight line is not my forte. So I definitely need to do a lot more practicing on that. But I would love to be able to sew my own clothes and make clothes that fit me because I am a short lass. I'm only 4'10". Trying to find clothes that fit my kind of body is very difficult, and that are like flattering as well. That is always very difficult to find. I was gonna stream for 19 minutes, but we'll see how we go. We're almost an hour in. are making progress. And I definitely will add a border when this is done. I'm telling my wrists are not warm right now because they are clicking like crazy. Even though I stretched this morning, my wrists seem to have unstretched themselves. So they are not warm. I have to do some stretching afterwards anyway. So we're at 1, 2, 3, 4 across, okay. And then there'll be another 3. I think at most I'll use another ball of grey because I've got 3 here. So definitely think 1 ball of grey because this one's like almost running out. So grey is the most heavily used colour in this pattern. So there'll definitely at least be some left over. But yeah, I definitely think there'll be enough grey to use in another project, which is fabulous. Get back in there. I kind of wish I did use a smaller hook. I thought a 4 would be perfect, but it seems a 3.5 will probably be better for the stitches being closer together, I think. But that's fine. The second one I'm making is I'm using a 3.5mm hook, and my squares are smaller. So if I show you here, my blocks are 6x6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But the other one I'm making is with a smaller hook, so 3.5mm hook. This is 4, and I'm doing 4 blocks for 4x4 instead. So it's going to come out smaller. I think the only reason I did that is because if I did want to make it bigger, because I don't have like loads of yarn for it, I'm just using what I had. It would be very easy to pick up more yarn if I needed to. I don't have to travel too far. Like, because the nearest Hobbycraft to me is like a train journey away, across a few zones. So yeah, I don't always like having to travel kind of far just to get some yarn, compared to walking up to the high street to shop to get what I need. So if I wanted to do that, then I could. Okay, 1 more grey in this row. Sip of my tea. Getting very cold. See, seems like we've got some clouds that have moved because it's gotten a little bit brighter in my room. Yeah, we've got a bank holiday tomorrow because of the Queen's funeral. That's kind of nice because it means I can do things that I didn't get to do today. I've done normal chores and stuff like that, so it's nothing like that. But like, I was gonna try and fit time in to work on writing up my pattern today, and I kind of just didn't really feel like it, so I've pushed it back till tomorrow because I'll have the time tomorrow to do that. I'm constantly rearranging my clothes on my wardrobe and everything because I'm just trying to clear out stuff and get rid of the old and try and not buy anything new. But something that I'm also very happy with is that I've managed to cut down on my spending of clothes significantly. Aside from the last few suits that I bought and my trousers and boots that I bought recently for my sister's hen do, I'm a lot better about buying clothes and stuff. I think my spending habits have just gotten a lot better, although I always seem to be broke for some reason. It feels like my habits have gotten better. Maybe it's just like the quality of food that I'm eating now is just more expensive. Come on. It's a problem with DK weight sometimes, especially when it's a bit thin. It's hard to keep hold of it. Why am I having so many issues? Come on now. I think what I'm going to do later this evening after I have my dinner is just pull out all my crochet whips and see what I do have the yarn for or what can be an easy finish, and then just have them out on my trolley so I know that they're the things that I need to work on. And then jot that down in my new book, which I'm just tracking all the patterns that I'm working on and my designs in, 'cause I need somewhere to keep that tracked at the moment. Now, I don't have a lot, but I want a place to keep tabs on everything that I'm working on, because I'm not very good at doing that, to be honest. So kind of want to get in the habit. I can see what I have and haven't been doing. Excuse me. I do want to finish the toasty pattern because that one's quite a quick one. Got it here on my bed because I was sewing in the ends of it earlier as well. So once I sew in the ends of the granny squares, I just need to finish crocheting the lining, put it together, and then sew the and crochet the trim on, and that one's done. That's one project done. And I might work on it after stream because it'd be kind of cool to have it finished, but we'll see. And I can share that on my Instagram. When I'm not on YouTube, you can usually find me on Instagram. I don't post on there as much as I used to, but I'm kind of getting back into it again now. So if you want to see what I'm working on, Instagram is the best place to find me. And my Instagram name is shard_creates. So same as YouTube, just without the underscore. Also picked up a bit of knitting again. Trying to knit socks again. So I just pulled out the last one that I tried. And just pulled out the cuff and then just started again. To just try and get used to it again. So I've got one sock which I started and I got as far as going towards the heel. Then I stopped because I kind of got lost and I think I might have dropped some stitches and I have no idea how to pick up stitches in knitting. So I kind of just went, I don't want to touch this project and left it. So but I'll probably frog the whole thing and then start over. But yeah, I started on the socks. I'm just on the main leg of the sock. So I did the cuff and I just started on the leg. So that's like a good 50 odd rows of knitting. And I'm using tiny circular needles, so it's not too bad going, honestly. But I haven't done too much of that, so that's something I also want to put some time into, but I'm going to focus on finishing a few projects at hand first. Picking up speed here. How are we doing? Oh, we're over an hour now. Nice. Probably won't go for the full 90 minutes because I am getting a little hungry. Luckily, I already cooked my dinner, so just gotta heat it up. Got some more prawns and veg tonight. If you're curious, I'm currently watching in the background. There's no sound playing because obviously I'm streaming, but I am watching Twitch at the moment. A content creator by the name of Psycho Ghost. He primarily plays Hunt Showdown, a game which I am crap at, but I really, really like. Well, I really enjoy watching people play that game. I'm not very good at it myself. I'd like to get better, but I would definitely say I'm less than average at that kind of game. But it's really fun to watch. I haven't actually been doing as much gaming as I used to either. Especially this week, I've been mostly focused on my crochet and my stitching, honestly. But I have played some games this week, just kind of dabbling for like a few hours, but not really putting a lot of time into it. My hobbies come and go in waves, honestly. Like there's times I'm like full on my Xbox and not really touching my crochet or my stitching, and then there's times where I'm fully on my crochet and stitching but not really wanting to play on my Xbox. So depends on how I'm feeling mostly. This week I've definitely been feeling crafty, so that's what I've been doing. Especially when you see people finishing things, you're like, I want to finish some stuff. I want to have some finished objects. It's kind of inspiring to work more on what I've started and getting them done. I'll be like, hey, I got another finish. Having that sense of accomplishment. So I think I will do, where am I now? So I need to just go across here now. I'll do one more square with you guys and then call it. So I need white. So you can see where I'm up to. This is where I am. I just finished this one. So I'm going back down here, which will be white, black, and white. I think this is either the fourth. This will be the fourth or fifth square I've done today on stream, which is pretty good going, I must say. Like the halfway mark, pretty much. Well, kind of. Not really. I'm doing a lot of diagonals. I guess not really, but we're getting there. That's what it matters. I'm doing 3 rows at a time, so you know. I before I eat, I'll probably sewing the ends that I've done here. On this project, just sewing some of the ends so they are out of the way. I don't typically sew in the ones near the top where I've just worked. I usually do that after I've sewn over them, just in case, for whatever reason, I've sewn it in, gets in the way of the next stitches. So, which probably won't, but you never know. You can never be too careful. I hope you've all had a good weekend. I've had a pretty quiet weekend aside from hitting the gym. I'll probably have a quiet bank holiday as well, because most places aren't going to be open here anyway, so I've made sure that I won't have any reason to go to the shops tomorrow, because a lot of shops and places are going to be closed out of respect for the Queen. So stocked up on my tea bags and my milk and my sugar. I've got food. I've got any essentials, because I don't want to be like getting up, going to make a cup of tea and realizing I ain't got no bloody tea bags. What am I going to drink? That would be the worst. It's happened to me before. You really want that cup of tea or you really want that coffee and you ain't got none. Worst feeling ever. As simple as this pattern is, sometimes I forget how to start the rows. So I have to go back to the original pattern, which I luckily have bookmarked on my PC, just to remember how to start the rows. And I think the only issue is like when you start at the very bottom, it's different to the rows on top, because you'll need to start with the chain sixes and that. And then the first of each row across, you also need to be mindful of how you're starting, and I kept forgetting how to do that, so now I've got it imprinted in my mind so I don't have to refer back to the pattern anymore. Haven't decided which colour I'm doing the border in either. It's definitely not going to be white. I think it's going to be the grey, as that's the main colour. But I could also do it in black as well. So if you made it this far, let me know, what color should I do the border? Should I do it in the black or the grey? I'd like to hear your opinions, if you don't mind. Go through properly. There we go. Sitting for over an hour is not good for my body, so my body is calling out for a stretch. I woke up with a bit of a bum knee this morning, like the back of my knee was just hurting so much. I was trying to put my bed sheets on my bed, and just kneeling on my right knee has just caused so much pain, and I have no idea why. Maybe because of my training yesterday, but it's very weird that it's like at the back of my knee and not the front. And my left knee is perfectly fine, so I don't know. I might have done something in my sleep. I wouldn't be surprised. I tend to scratch myself in my sleep a lot and just wake up with like bruises and cuts, especially on my face, where I probably just scratch myself in my sleep. Either that or my house is haunted and I've been getting attacked in my sleep. Oh, get in there. The square. Starting to decrease now. A bit too fast there. There we go. Oh. We are getting to the end of this square very soon. I will continue to post updates on this blanket since I'm getting close to a finish now. So Sabrina, hi, good to see you. Thank you. Yeah, this blanket has been quite a joy to work on since I picked it back up again. Took me a while to learn corner to corner, but once I got it, I got it. But the only thing I can't do is like the kind of like pictures, like the pictures people make. with the C2C. I can't get that. There's too many like balls of yarn and color changes. I can't get with that, but like just a simple C2C, just the color blocks or the stripes, I can do just fine. But that's what I just typically stick to because it's easier. Oh, that's okay. Don't worry too much about it. I will be finishing soon because I haven't stood up for the past hour and 20 minutes. And I really need to stretch. And I think the green tea is now gone through my body and would like to come out. So yeah, I'll be finishing in the next 5-10 minutes or so. But thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Yeah, keep it up and try again. I'm sure you'll definitely get it one day. I guess some stitches are a lot easier than others, so but I believe in you. I believe you can do it. It was good seeing you too as well. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. We are coming to the end of this square now, which will mean the end of the stream. So I just want to say thank you to anyone who has been watching live or anyone who watches the VOD after the fact. I am very much grateful for your time. Did I miss one? Yes, I know I have. Yeah, missed one right here. I definitely hope to be streaming more again in the future. So like, comment, and subscribe on the channel so you'll be notified when I do go live again. I will definitely hoping to be putting up another video at the end of this month, so end of September, because I've got quite a few things that I would like to share. And hopefully by then this blanket will be done. And I've done quite a bit today, which I'm very happy with. So here we are. So I've got, need to do, oh, where am I? No, this is the wrong way. Oh, where am I? Here we go. This way. So just need to, so pretty much come to, got one more here. And we've got two there. Nope, I've still got this the wrong way around. Oh my goodness, what am I doing? It's this way. It's this way. Because I'm used to looking at it the other way. So we've got two more here, three more, four more here, and then I think 5 there. So not too bad going. So that should be finished by next week if I put my heart and soul into finishing it. And if anything, I'll just try and get like 2 or 3 squares done a day, and just make sure that I keep on top of sewing in the ends. So before I go, I will show you my other project. It's coming inside out because I was sewing in the ends. This is Toasty by HG Designs Crochet. It's going to be like one of those hand muffs, and I've just used blues that I've had in my stash so far. So I'm just currently sewing in all the ends. I'm not too far on it so far, but I did start. So I'm just sewing in the ends, the granny squares. Then I found this fabric in this yarn in my stash because you need a chunky wool for the lining. So I found this in my stash. It's not as chunky as the the one that she's used, which I've used before, but I don't want to go to the shop and buy any more yarn because it's like, it's around £3.40 to £4 for a ball of that yarn. And I think I might make a second one because I've got a bit more of the blue left. So I'm just going to use this to line it. And then I've got some fluffy, blue fluffy wool somewhere in my room, which I'll use to put around the edges. So that's the end of the stream. It's getting dark now, so it's probably also a good time to finish up. It's 6 o'clock in the evening. So thank you to those who have turned up my stream, left a comment, to everyone who watches the video afterwards. I really appreciate it. I hope you all have a good Sunday, and I'm sure to see you soon. Thanks, everyone.